The planet Varthuan was silent under its twin moons, the silence broken only by the low growl rumbling from the pit beneath the alien citadel. The Kareth Dominion, a proud warrior race, had captured what they called the Beast of Iranth Prime, a creature so fierce that it had annihilated an entire mining colony within hours. The Kareth soldiers whispered its name like a curse. Goreth. When Captain Elias Renner, the lone human diplomat sent to Varthuan, heard about the beast, he was curious. When the alien woman, Commander Thalara Vren, warned him never to go near it, his curiosity only grew stronger. Thalara stood over 7 feet tall, her skin like silvered obsidian, her gaze sharp as the edge of her twin blades. "It's not something you can reason with, human," she told him coldly. "It's a monster, pure instinct and destruction. You don't talk to storms, and you don't talk to Goreth." Elias smiled faintly. "Where I'm from, we've tamed storms before." Thalara's nostrils flared, her mandible-like jaw tightening. "This is not your world, human." He knew that. The Kareth had barely tolerated his presence. Humans were newcomers to galactic politics, fragile compared to the towering species around them. Yet Elias had been trained for this, to understand, to bridge, to connect. The more he heard about Goreth, the more it reminded him of the stray dog he'd rescued on Luna Station as a boy. Everyone had called it vicious too. That night, as the twin moons rose, Elias descended into the containment vaults. The air was thick, metallic, and reeking of ozone. Electric barriers pulsed along the walls. He stood before the energy cage where the beast was kept. And there it was. Goreth was enormous. Muscles like coiled cables under armor-plated skin, 4 crimson eyes glowing in the dark, claws that could cleave through steel. But its breathing was slow, almost pained. One of its arms hung at an odd angle. The Kareth had broken it during capture. Elias didn't speak at first. He just watched. The creature's gaze met his, and for a brief electric moment, he felt something. Not rage, but exhaustion. Then softly he said, "Hey there, big guy." The creature tilted its head, growled low, but didn't lunge. Elias crouched slightly. "They call you a monster. But I think you're just scared." The alien guards shifted uneasily behind him. "Step back, human," one barked. "It senses weakness." But Goreth didn't attack. It simply blinked once, slowly, deliberately, and lowered its head. When Elias emerged from the vault, Thalara was waiting. "You could have been torn apart," she hissed. "You defied direct order." "I made a friend," he said quietly. She stared at him like he'd gone mad. "You humans are reckless beyond comprehension." "Maybe," Elias said, "but sometimes that's how peace starts. Middle, the human and the beast." Over the next several days, Elias returned to the vault, bringing food, water, and a strange, calming hum, an old earth melody that his mother used to sing. Each time, Goreth would grow less aggressive. It began to recognize him. Sometimes it even leaned toward the barrier, rumbling softly as if trying to mimic his tone. Word spread quickly. Kareth warriors whispered about the beast-tamer human. Thalara watched with increasing frustration. She didn't trust Goreth, or Elias's intentions. "Do you know what that thing did?" she demanded one evening as the two stood in the observation deck overlooking the citadel. "It slaughtered 12 of my soldiers. It crushed a starship engine with its bare hands." Elias leaned on the railing. Maybe it was defending itself. "Defending?" She turned on him. "You think monsters have honor? I think everything reacts to pain. Even monsters." For a moment she said nothing. Her expression softened slightly, the fire in her eyes dimming. "You're strange, human. I've been called worse. By the 5th day, the Kereth Council grew impatient. They planned to execute Goreth publicly to assert dominance and quell fear among their citizens. Elias protested vehemently. "You can't just kill it," he shouted in the council chamber. "We don't even know what provoked it. There might be more like it. You're destroying a potential key to understanding this galaxy." Councillor Vren bared his teeth. "We don't understand fire by letting it burn our homes." Elias's plea was denied. The execution was set for dawn. That night he couldn't sleep. Thalera found him in the vault again, standing before Goritha's cell. "You're still here," she said softly. "I can't let them do it." Her eyes flicked to the creature, then back to him. "You're going to die for it." "I've died for worse causes." For a long time she said nothing. Then, surprisingly, she deactivated the safety lock on his side of the containment barrier. "You have 5 minutes," she murmured. "Then I close it." Elias stepped inside. Goritha's red eyes snapped open. Growled confused. "Easy," Elias whispered, slowly raising his hands. "I'm not here to hurt you." The beast shuddered, the deep wounds along its back glowing faintly. Elias realized the glow wasn't natural. It was a brand, a burning mark placed by the Kereth energy whips. The creature had been tortured. He reached out and placed a hand on its arm. The skin was rough, hot, but under his touch the creature trembled. "You don't have to be alone," Elias said softly. "You're not what they say you are." For a long moment, the vault was utterly silent. Then the beast leaned forward, its enormous head resting lightly against Elias's chest. When Thalera saw that, she froze. Something ancient and wordless passed between man and creature, something that transcended fear. The escape and the battle. At dawn, the execution began. Chains clanged as Goreth was dragged into the arena of blades, surrounded by thousands of Kereth citizens. Elias stood among them, his heart pounding. Thalera stood beside the High Council, mask of duty hiding her unease. When the first plasma lance was raised, Goreth let out a thunderous roar, but not of defiance. It was grief. It looked straight at Elias. And Elias couldn't stand by. He rushed forward, grabbing a dropped blaster from a startled guard. "Stop this," he shouted. "You're killing a thinking being."